This happened to me about 3 weeks ago, and looking back, I do think I may have been a little out of it, but I know what I saw. I'm 14, and my parents just recently let me start staying home alone, usually leaving for a movie late and leaving me alone in this little suburban home. I will admit, I can be very, mischievous? The word dumbass seems to suit me better. I did a lot of stupid things, including making hairspray flamethrowers, making a sandwich and toasting the bread with the Bunsen burner, and other little antics such as that. Now, this night my parents had gone out to the hospital, as my frail grandpa had fallen at the grocery store and broken his nose. They had said that they might not be back and had set the alarm when they left. We had the kind of alarm that would start going batshit crazy if any doors and windows were opened while it was on. This I didn't mind. I was sitting in my room, drawing little characters and drinking hot chocolate, when it started. The tapping. A loud, rhythmic tapping on the glass of the sliding glass door. Let me say, I've always been a scary story geek, and I love listening to YouTubers read them. I'd been listening to a mix of scary stories at the time, so me being a weird 14-year-old, I began laughing loudly. I turned to look at my laptop, grinning at the screen, complimenting the YouTuber on the terrifying sound effect. That was until I paused the video. The tapping didn't stop. I kind of just sat there for a while in a daze. I looked at the clock, seeing it was almost 1:30 in the morning. Who the hell would be tapping at the back slider door at 1 in the morning? I growled and stood up. I grabbed my metal ruler off my desk and looked at the doorknob. Should I really go confront this person? Maybe it was my parents. Maybe not. I decided it couldn't hurt. Man, was I wrong. I stepped into the hallway, holding the metal ruler like a knife. The house was black and inky, and I flipped the switch to turn on the hallway light. The light flickered to life. My house was illuminated with a dull glow. I stared at the glass at the back door. My mouth dropped open. My backyard had been barely illuminated by the light, and with what little light was there, I could see a figure. They were standing far back from the slider, and just seemed to be standing there. I know I should have ran for the phone, but I didn't. I stumbled back into my room and slammed the door shut. My mind exploded. Thoughts of who or what could be out there crowded my mind. I peeked out again, and I looked at the counter. I could see the dull green light coming from my phone, showing me that the phone was now fully charged. Why didn't I have it with me? I shook my head. No, this is... I trailed off, my voice breaking and leaving me in a heavy silence. I looked at my room, then back at the counter. I could make it if I ran. The counter wasn't that far, and the alarm was set. They couldn't get me. I shivered and braced myself. Counted to 3, and bolted out of the hall. As soon as I got within view of the door, I went into shock. There, standing at the door, was a man. His face was pale, and he had both gloved hands pressed against the glass. He was staring at me, blank-faced, and his eyes were dully following me as I ran. At this point, the little confidence that I had snapped, and I started screaming. "What the fuck are you doing?" I screamed, as the man turned and ran into the dark. I heard the side gate slam shut, and I saw him running down the street through my front window. I grabbed my phone and sunk to the floor, sobbing madly and dialing the police. They showed up within 4 minutes. I described the man through my tears, and the second of the 2 police wrote down my tale. The first man put a hand on my shoulder and looked at me. "Did you happen to see any weapons on him? Any defining details?" I reflected, thinking about the blank stare the man gave, and shook my head, describing the dull look he had throughout his stay. The second man checked the glass and the side gate for fingerprints and unfortunately found none. He came inside and questioned me for a little longer before they left. I thanked the men for coming as I set the alarm again. This time I was sitting in the living room, holding a butcher's knife in one hand and my phone in the other, scrolling through the collective section of iFunny. I never told my parents, for fear they'd be too afraid to let me stay at home by myself anymore. The police never caught the guy, as I found out about 2 days ago. I do apologize for the length, but I thought that I should give all the details that I could, in case anyone has had any similar experiences. I'm home alone again, and I'm sitting in my room. It's about 9 o'clock right now, and I'm putting this all down on my laptop. My phone is next to me. I can only pray this never happens to me or anyone else ever again. Creepy backdoor stalker, let's never meet.